Okay, hi everyone. Welcome. This is going to be the video lecture for the syllabus. If you're watching this, it should be kind of on the first day of class. Like I said, I have a medical appointment I have to take my father to. I appreciate you being flexible. We're going to start at 8 p.m. on the first class session. So this is meant to make up for the time and what we would have done in class, right? Had we met on 6 on the first day, we would have went over the syllabus. So it's exactly what you would have got. It's just pre-recorded and trying to make up for the time for you and be flexible in the situation. So thank you. We will see you live at 8 o'clock and live moving forward at the normal time, but week one's slightly modified. And the syllabus here, this is probably for the best that it is recorded. That way, you can go back and look and understand and watch it again if you're confused about the course expectations. So my name is Keith Donnelly. I am a licensed attorney and CPA. I've taught before at other schools, and this is my second semester here at Brockport. I've taught this class many times. I was previously in accounting as an accountant, so I'm happy to share with you the wild and wonderful world of accounting, right? So I know a lot of you think accounting's boring. Part of my goal is to try to make it fun and give you some context to the content. All right, so with that, right, we're meeting Tuesday night. This is like a once-a-week class. I believe it's a 14-week class. My office hours, right, I imagine that you would be interested in doing them remote. So they're Monday, Wednesday, 3:15 to 5 o'clock. We'll talk about those. Generally, they're on a first-come, first-served basis. Please send me an email to schedule an appointment. You'll have to confirm that appointment the day of. I also have some other in-person office hours if, hey, you're on campus. One of the things with this is my office is in the Milton building. So that's the one over break where the pipe exploded and they've now closed down half of the building. There is mold in my office. So my in-person office hours, when I have them, we would meet, say that's something you wanted to do. It would be probably in the library or something like that. Again, just email me. I'm happy to, honor these times and be available, but they're by appointment, okay? And it's first come, first serve. The other thing, too, with office hours, not to get too far ahead of myself here, I teach a lot of different sections with a lot of different students. So where I'm going with this is I have 150 students that I teach each semester. So let's try to, if possible, I really want to stick to these office hours. In other words, if I met with everybody at their what's convenient for them, I would be busy all the time. So I'm really going to try to stick to these office hours. Now, if you have questions, right, you're stuck on the homework, I'm happy to, meet with you, during office hours. Probably what's an easier thing is just send me an email, right? If you're stuck on something, I will get back to you in a reasonable time frame. Let's say emails, give me 24 hours to get back to you. Normally I have my phone on me, so I will get back, pretty quick. But, we don't always need to meet. Sometimes things can be addressed through email. But again, happy to meet, want to get to know you. The other thing, too, is this class, there will be difficult at times. And if you're struggling, right, there is a tutor on campus who gives tutoring. So sometimes, with students, they want, weekly, kind of one-on-one help. I'm happy to do that, right? But again, I teach 150 students, so there's no guarantee that I can't carve out 2 hours for you specifically every week to sit down and go over the homework. That's more what the tutoring service is for. So again, I'm happy to meet with you during office hours. If you have a question, you want to go over something, you want to talk about what being an accountant is, I'm happy to meet with you if I have availability. But if you're looking for one-on-one every single week meeting, that's probably better suited towards the tutor because that's a tutoring service. Now, with that, right, we're going to be looking at accounting here. Really, this class, it's about looking at businesses and producing financial statements. It's not, like I had somebody tell me one time, I signed up for this class, I thought I was going to learn about how to budget my money, right? That's a personal financial planning class. That's a different area and topic from accounting, right? We're looking at businesses, and businesses are trying to get investors to invest in them, right? So it's like Shark Tank. And in that way, the investors, they need and want to see financial statements, right? Like a balance sheet, an income statement. That's the nature of this class, right? We're looking at how do we produce and prepare those financial statements. All right, with that, right, the textbook is right here. It's Financial Accounting 11th edition by Libby. You're going to need the book and the software, right? The cheapest way to get them, right? So one is you can order them from the bookstore, right? They give you two options. One option is you get a physical copy of the book with a Connect code. Now, when we say the word Connect, what we mean by that is the online learning platform that we use to do homework in. It's kind of like Blackboard, right? It's an online system that you use to do the homework. In order to access that system, you need the code, right? The Connect code. Now, one way is you can go to the bookstore, you can buy the book, and it would come with the code. Another thing you can do is you can go to the bookstore and you can just buy the code, the Connect code. In other words, if you buy just the Connect code, it comes with, for free, a digital version of the textbook. Now, I understand the bookstore, for some reason, they're on like back order, right? They didn't order enough books. I never understand this because I tell them like 3 months in advance what textbook I'm using and they know how many students are enrolled. So it's like, to me, this is always like a bizarro situation. Why do they not have enough books? But it's kind of the nature of the beast. So if you're in that situation, right, you're like waiting for the book from the bookstore, the easiest thing to do, right, what you can do here, let me go back into our section here, Intro to Accounting, right, you would go right here, Connect Homework Platform, and then you would click this button, Go to My Connect section, right? That's where you would ultimately go anyhow if you have the Connect code. So like say you went to the bookstore, you bought the book, and now you have the Connect code. It's going to look like a little gift card, right? You have to scratch off the number. You would go here and input it, right? You would sign up for our section on there. Now, if you're waiting for the book, you can go on here and sign up, and it will give you a 2-week free trial. So in other words, while you're waiting for that book to come from the bookstore, you can use the 2-week free trial. Or alternatively, right, another thing you can do is just go in here and buy the Connect directly from the publisher. Right, it's just like buying the code, right? If you buy it directly from the publisher here, I'm going to say it's like $85. That's actually the cheapest way. You have access. So in other words, where I'm going with this is there should be no excuse why you can't complete week 1's homework. I'm giving you 3 options to buy the book. One is you can get the book with a Connect code at the bookstore. That's one. 2 is you can buy just the Connect code at the bookstore. If you're pursuing either of those 2 options and the book isn't there in time, sign up here for the 2-week free trial. The cheapest route, the third option, if you're like, what's the easiest, cheapest route to get what I need for this class? Click this button, sign up for our section with, pay directly to Connect. I want to say it's like $85. There you go. You're good to go. Okay? So with that, right, how the class will work, it's out of 1,000 points. Wherever you land, that's your grade, right? You get 820 points, that's an 82. You get 756, that's a 75.6, right? I don't round up final grades, right? So class is out of 1,000 points. What it's comprised of is 10 homeworks, right? 20% of your grade. We're going to be doing some company analysis, presentations at the end of the semester, and then 3 exams. Okay, so at a high level, how this class will work, we'll do 3 chapters, a test. 3 chapters, a test. 3 chapters, a test. And then the last week, we're going to do company analysis presentations. Each week, right? So first off, when you do the exam here, it's just on those 3 chapters. When you do the exam here, it's just on those 3. When you do it there, it's just on those 3. It's not cumulative, okay? Now, internal to each week, so at a high level, 3 weeks exam, 3 weeks exam, 3 weeks exam. Each week, internal to each week, what we will do is we will go over the chapter in class. So we'll have a PowerPoint, and then we'll do problems. At Sunday, midnight Sunday, so the end of the day Sunday, not like, the beginning of the day, definitely not Monday, right? When you're watching football and it's like 9 o'clock at night on a Sunday, there's only like 3 hours left for the homework. So Sunday at midnight, the homework is due. You get unlimited attempts at the homework. Whatever your highest attempt is, your grade is the one that counts, right? So each week, we'll meet Tuesday, we'll do a PowerPoint, we'll go over problems. By Sunday at midnight, that is when the homework is due. It's very similar to the problems we do in class, but with different numbers. Okay, so homework, right? That's essentially released each week. It's due Sunday at midnight. Do not accept late submissions, right? One of the things is, with accounting, deadlines are very important. You have like 7 full days to complete the homework. Do not wait until Sunday at like 10 p.m. to complete the homework. If you email me on Sunday and say, can I get an extension? I will say no. Right? So I try to be like really clear up front so you know what you're getting into. I'm not doing this from like an evil or malicious way. I'm not trying to be mean or anything. It's just the reality of being an accountant. I'm trying to orient you. Deadlines are really important, right? Like the tax deadline. Accountants, you don't mess with that deadline. It's due when it's due. You have a whole week to complete it, right? 7 full days. If you wait until the last day to start it, you have assumed the risk that you're going to have internet, you're not going to have a family medical emergency, you're not going to do this. If something blows up on the last day, you will not get an extension. So please do not wait until Sunday to start the homework. Now, the homework itself is based on accuracy. It's not a completion, right? I've had somebody before email me, well, I tried, the homework. I gave it a good attempt. You're not going to give me 100%. No, it's based on accuracy, okay? You get unlimited attempts. Homework is meant to be a learning experience, right? And ultimately, the highest score you get is what counts. Now, the thing you got to be aware of here, right, when you're in Connect, you must affirmatively submit the homework, click the submit button in order for it to submit. In other words, if you just start the homework and then you exit out of it, and then Sunday at midnight, right, the timer is done, you're not going to get any points for that. So I've had people say to me before, well, I did the homework, but I forgot to click the submit button. That will not work. You have to affirmatively, when you're done with the homework, hit submit and see the score that you've got. So that will not serve as an excuse. Again, no extensions for the homework. Life events and things like that are foreseeable. We all have, issues and things going on in our lives. 7 full days, 24 hours a day, 7 days it's open. You can fit it in there. Do not wait until the last day to do it. Let's see here. The company analysis presentation. We will talk about this more in class. There is a document in Blackboard about what's going on with this, but essentially at the end of the semester, you will be doing a presentation on a company, and you will be applying the learnings that we did in the class to that company. The exams. right? So the idea with the exams are this. They consist of 30 multiple choice questions, 100 minutes, based evenly on the materials, right? So everything in Blackboard is fair game, right? So for example, this week 1, you have to watch that history of accounting lecture. If you don't watch that, right, there could be a question on that on the exam. Exams are closed books and closed notes, right? So I have it set up where you will be monitored through Blackboard. So if you sign up for this course, you agree to these terms and conditions. Now the idea with that is because they're closed book and closed notes, do not go to an external website, right? If you try looking up the answer, 1, you won't find it because I write my own questions, and 2, it will send me a notification flag. So, right, I do not want to, I'm just forewarning you, if you try to look stuff up, I will be notified. I will have to give you a 0. I will have to report you, to the appropriate authorities in the school. It's not worth it. Please don't cheat. So the exams are curved, right? So what that means is, let's say the exam is out of 225 points. Right? If we go up here, right, 225. Now, let's say that the highest person in the class, right, the one who did the best on the exam, let's just call them individual A, right? They got 220 points. What that means is the curve is going to be 25 points, right? So what happens then is I will apply this curve to everybody, and you'll see 2 entries in the grade book, right? You're going to see your raw score and then a separate entry for the curve, right? So let's just say individual B, right, got 175 out of 200. What they would see in Blackboard, right, they would see 2 entries. They would see 175, the raw score, then they would see the 25-point curve. So you're going to see 2 line items. You got to make sure when you're looking at your overall grade that you add those together, right? Because a lot of times people will look at just this and they'll say, oh no, I got 175 out of 225. No, you really got a 200, right? Because you have what you earned plus the curve. So the point of this is just to tell you that the exams will be curved. When you're looking in the grade book to determine your grade, you have to factor that curve in, your raw score plus the curve. Now, because the exams are curved, right, I can't determine what the curve is until everybody has taken the exam. So what that means is when you finish the exam, you're not going to see your score, right? Instead, what will happen is you will see it the next day. In other words, you'll finish the exam. You won't see your score because I haven't been able to determine the curve. The next day, I will input it. Exam procedure, right? So these are the days we're going to have the exams. By enrolling in this class, right, you represent and warrant that you are available during these days. In other words, much like homework, I don't give makeup exams. Now, how it will work the day of an exam, right? So when we do the exams, right here, Tuesday, we will meet at 6 o'clock, right? And I will go, do a review for however long, half the class, an hour, something like that, right? I will give you an in-person review. After that, right, you can take the exam, right? You'll take it on your computer. We aren't going to have live class while you're taking an exam. That's stupid. But if this was an in-person class, right, you'd be taking it then. So where I'm going with this is the day of an exam, right, you will have the exam during class time. But the first half, we're going to do it a review, because that's how I do it in person, right? When I teach this in person, I do 3 chapters. Then day 1, when we meet the week of an exam, we do a review. Day 2, we do the exam. So I'm just mimicking that. I'll let you know through email all of this, right? I'm not, trying to hide anything. I'm just trying to give you the expectations. So again, please read this carefully. This basically just says you're being monitored. If you try to do anything fishy, like go to an external website, if you try to copy and paste, if you try to do a screenshot, right? I was born at night, but not last night. I'm aware of the realities of Chegg.com. So in order to prevent, one, people from cheating, and two, people from publishing and copying my tests, which would be a copyright violation, I have to implement this monitoring software. And I do enforce it, right? I'm an attorney, so please do not cheat. I will prosecute to the fullest extent permitted by the university. It's not a fun situation when that happens, but that's the idea with it. So there's no need to go to any external website. All that you need to do when you take the exam is you can have a blank piece of paper, a simple calculator, which is not your phone. You cannot be in possession of your phone, and the window open for the exam, right? Now, with the exam, right, when you take it, basically, I'm going to give you a 24-hour window to take it on that Tuesday, right? You can wait, right, until we do the in-person review and take it after, right? That's probably your best bet, right, because you're going to do the review. Or if you want to skip the review, that's your choice. You can take the exam beforehand, right? In other words, on Tuesday, when we meet the week of an exam, we will do a review. However, you have that whole day to take the exam, to start it. Now, when you start it, right, once you click it and it opens, the timer runs and it does not stop, right? So it's not one of these where you can exit it and go back in. Once you're in it, the timer is running. It does not stop. Questions are going to appear one at a time, right? There is no backtracking. So what that means is if you answer a question and you move forward, you can't go back. It's one at a time, and it's random. It's the same question set, but it's random among all students. So the idea with this is you see them one at a time, you'll move forward. If you exit the exam, right, or your internet kicks you off, the timer is going to still run. So you have a 24-hour window within which to start the exam, but once you start it, the timer runs and it does not stop. Once it finishes the timer, it automatically submits wherever you are. One of the things here, high-speed internet connection, a working computer, is a condition to enrolling in this course. Do not take the exam, right, like in a McDonald's or something, or using your phone as a hotspot. The exam is meant to be taken by yourself. Everything in this class is to be completed by yourself. There's no need to share answers or questions. If you have anything, I'm happy to meet with you. But, by enrolling in this class, you agree to take the exam by yourself with only the materials I discussed in front of you. You're not going to use external websites. You're aware that you're being monitored. And you're going to take it in a place with good internet connection. And you know that I don't have makeup exams, right? So if you don't take it during that 24-hour window, you will get a 0. Final grade policy. So this just says, hey, if I do anything right in Blackboard where, sometimes these percentages get a little bit goofy in there. At the end of the day, right, the only thing that matters is this class is out of 1,000 points. So don't rely on the percentage you see in Blackboard because it can get tricky with percentage. What I do when the semester ends is I go into Blackboard and I say, how many points did this person earn? What are their total points? I take that out of 1,000. There you go. I don't round it up. Right? So if you earn 899 out of 1,000, that's a B, not an A. Please do not email me asking to round up final grades. Also, please do not email me at the end of the semester for extra credit. If you can resubmit a homework, if you can get some kind of special treatment, wherever you land, you land. Let the chips fall where they may. The grade you get in this class is the grade you earn in this class. And just like to be upfront with you, accounting can be a difficult course, right? On the exams, I don't have some like Mr. Meany thing in my head, like I want this outcome, but it tends to be like a high C is the average. Now, do I get plenty of people who get A's? Sure. Do I get people who fail? Sure. What you get out of this class is what you put into it. And I'm just telling you up front, because like for a lot of times for people when they take an accounting class, it's the first time they've ever really been like challenged. Because this class, it's it's not a lot of like, what do you think? What do you feel? It's math based. And it's not tons of math. If you can do addition, subtraction, multiplication, and division, you'll be fine. But there's not a lot of room in this class for like thoughts and feelings. We will, right? I value critical thinking, and we'll talk about, how does this shake out in the real world? Why should we care about it? But it's an accounting class, right? It's math based, and that's good because there is no like playing favorites or anything like that. Whatever the grade you get is the grade you earn. It's right or wrong. It's math, and it's the balance sheet balances or it doesn't. The income statement ties out or it doesn't. So I like that because there is no kind of like personality, right? If you're not a favorite or something, I treat everybody equal. I give everybody the same chance to succeed. I want everybody to succeed, but in order to succeed, you need to put in time outside of class. So the homework each week, that's going to take you a few hours, right? That's why I said please do not wait until Sunday at like 10 o'clock to try to submit it. Also, emails, right? If you email me to help you on the homework, I'm happy to do that. But again, 24-hour response is reasonable. I usually am in bed by like 8 or 9 o'clock, and I get up at like 5 a.m. I'm a very like early to bed, early to rise person. Where I'm going with this is, if you email me at like 11:30 on Sunday at midnight, I am not like sitting there waiting for you to email me. I am asleep. So do not expect a response if you wait to do the homework last minute. The other thing too is, if you don't complete any of the homeworks by the first census date, you will be involuntarily removed from the class and not allowed in. Office hours, right? It just says, hey, they're on a first come, first served basis. Please send me an email to schedule an appointment. The day of, confirm your appointment. I've had a lot of people in the past make an appointment but then no-show. The problem with that is when you no-show an appointment, it's the opportunity cost. I could have met with another student to help them, right? So that's the idea with it. Attendance, right? You can look through this. Please look at this guy right here, right? This just says that things in this class are due. Don't get tricked by Blackboard, right? If it says Monday at 12 a.m. the homework is due, that means Sunday at midnight. Sunday at midnight is the end of when the homework is due, not Monday at the beginning of the day. Also, right, you're affirmatively responsible for checking emails and reviewing Blackboard. Email is not the primary form of communication. I try to email you guys, but Blackboard, you're responsible for looking at both. Let's see here. Cheating, don't cheat. Like I said, things in this class, everything's meant to be completed on an individual basis. I don't tolerate cheating. All of these other kind of, college policies, you can read through these. One of the things with the disability, if you have a disability, I'm happy to provide an accommodation. However, you have to get the letter from the services offices that deals with that. In other words, if you need more time on an exam, hey, I'm happy to do that for you, but I'm not going to do it until I get the accommodation letter, because it's not fair to other students to give you more time and not them. So again, I try to treat everybody equally. I want to be upfront with you about course expectations. This class will be difficult, but you can succeed in it, and plenty of people do. I am here to help you. I want you to succeed, but I also want you to know what you're getting into. this last part I had to recently add, anti-bullying policy. We are adults, so we need to treat each other with civility and respect, including me and your other classmates. So by enrolling in this class, I've been trying to convey to you that it's going to be a difficult class. There will be times where you will struggle in this class. It's a very normal, natural reaction to have. Plenty of people struggle, but they still do well in the class. What is not okay is if you try to take out that struggles on another student or on me, right? So, like, for example, in the past, I've had like groups of students kind of form a little, 3-person people who would come to my office and try to yell and say, this isn't fair, or, this class is hard. I'm not going to be an accountant, so I shouldn't, this shouldn't be that hard. Again, I'm not trying to be like Dr. Evil and be twisting my mustache here, like laughing, an evil cackle. No, I'm here to give you a great educational product and meant to prepare people who want to study accounting and business to put them in a position to succeed. Okay, so when you get in the professional world, deadlines are enforced. Being an adult, right? You have to be professional. You have to be civil. So at all times, including your interactions with me and your other classmates, because I've had classmates bully other classmates, we need to be adults, right? The last part here, this just says, hey, we have gone over this syllabus. You are responsible for reading it with like a fine comb and looking at all of the provisions in there. If you remain in this class, right, if you stay in this class after we went over this, you agree to the terms and conditions in the syllabus. It's implicit consent. So what that means is if you stay in the class and then you try to email me asking for an extension on the homework, I'm going to send to you, sorry, I don't accept late homeworks. This was noted in the syllabus and you agreed to it by staying in the class. We went over this. I told you up front about it. So, I try to be upfront in the beginning with people. Again, I want to be crystal clear with you so you know what you're getting into. While it is kind of like, this might be a little intimidating up front, usually I'm normally a very easygoing person, right? I want to have fun. I want to make this class engaging. I want you to care about accounting. I want you to get something out of this class. But what I don't want to do is like sugarcoat it and make you think that this class is something where you can just study the night before. Like maybe if you ever took a high school English class and you could just read Spark Notes the night before and then tap dance your way through the exam, through an essay. You can't do that with accounting, right? Accounting is learned through doing, practice. Most of the learning in this class will come outside of class time. In other words, it's like playing piano, right? If you ever go to piano lessons, when you go there, it's kind of an introduction and orientation. How you get good at piano and how you learn it is practicing outside of your lesson. Accounting's the same way, right? I'm here to help you. I want to support you. Class time is an exposure to the material, but you're not going to leave the classroom an accounting genius, right? This comes with practice and effort outside of class. So in any event, I'm running over the time here I wanted to give for this, but if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. This is just an introduction to the class, and we will see you at 8 p.m.